Ah, baby, yeah. You don't say very on this. You know what?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
He won the popular vote.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? And he lost by the Electoral College.
Mm-hmm.
That took the power out of so-called the populace and put it in the hands of a select, no? The same thing that happened with Trump. He lost the popular vote and still got in office.
Dude.
Right. And again, we have to also...
There was never power in terms of selecting your president. Power has never been with the people in terms of selecting your president from the origins of this nation. I'll explain it to you. After your constitution was written, one of the most difficult parts of it was deciding how to pick a president. Your founding fathers did not believe that the lay masses were intelligent enough to pick the president. So even the 74 million, 70 million, blah, blah, blah people that voted, it was just an act in, whatever. It doesn't count. There are only 538 people that picked the president in this nation from the origins of this nation. So the real election of your president happens the third Wednesday in December, when those 538 people who you don't have any hand in picking at all come together and say, okay, we'll pick the president. Now, there's something called a fateless elector. Fateless elector is a person who says, yes, I'm part of the Electoral College. I don't believe my state made the right decision in picking the president, so I will not pick the president that my state has picked. They have the right to do that.
And in them doing that, how does that affect the vote of that state, though? Do they not? I mean,
right.
So it's just like Trump. Trump won by 306 electoral college votes during the election. During the electoral vote election, he won by 304 because there were two fateless electors who refused to vote for him. So by tradition, though, it has become a system where as an elector, you are supposed to vote the will of the people in your state. That's why after we have the popular vote count, we believe we know who has won. If come third Wednesday in December, all of those electors decide, you know what, we think Trump is better, and decide there is nothing any of these states can do about it.
He'll be the president after what we just had right now.
You just have a constitutional crisis and maybe war. But you all who think that your vote counts for anything, it don't.
Okay. All right. So let me interject on this, Chike. Like about earlier. Then what's the point of voting then? What's the point of us truly voting and making our quote unquote elected voice heard?
Thank you, Kyle. Good question.
Is that based on tradition and precedent, right? The elected align with the will of the people, but they are not bound by that. So you must still vote, because if you don't, and your state decides that, because you all think your vote does not count, you don't go out and vote, and the wrong person wins, those electors decide to go with that. You don't have a say. You can no longer say, oh my God, this person is wrong. So you must still vote. But based on the Constitution, it don't mean shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Many people don't understand the history of picking a president in this country. Go look it up.
All right, so to that point,
538 people.
I love Chike, you do your research, man. There's no question. I'll look it up, but you do your research.
All right, family, do your research too. Family, you do your research.
That's right. Do your research.
That's why we have them on.
That's right. So to this point, you say that the only way to change the system is to get into the system. Question: Out of those electoral college votes, if you know, if you don't, that's fine. How is that set up with regards to representation? Are those in electoral college, do they represent for the most part white supremacy, white people, or are there people of diverse backgrounds involved in that, such as African Americans, Asian Americans, Indians? What, based on your research, what does that look like?
So, well, I would say this, and don't quote me on this. I think democratic states most likely pick diverse electors, right? In 2016, I think I knew a few of them, people of color. I didn't know anybody this year, even though I heard Hillary Clinton is one of the electors from New York.
Although she's one. Go ahead.
No, it doesn't matter. The point is, so that in itself doesn't matter so much, or at least up until now, have not mattered so much, because based once again on tradition and precedent, you know, the electors vote the will of the people, right? So just like Georgia turned blue, their electors can get to that place and decide, you know what, we want to give it to Trump.
But is that the voice of the people, though?
It's not, but they're not bound by the voice of the people. Like I said, it's only just precedent and tradition that has made that happen.
Who gives them the right to have that power and make that decision like that?
Your founding fathers gave them the right, because they didn't think people were human beings. They didn't think that. So that's the thing. So your vote is still extremely important, because it technically determines where those electoral votes should go, right?
Okay.
But it now depends on the electors to abide by that. And that has to be a conviction, you know, in themselves to want to do that.
Yeah. Baby, yeah. You don't say very on this. You know I have patience.